Here we are on location at one of my favorite spots on the back 40, and we're here to test the kind of audio product that I rely on in exactly this kind of situation. I'll also demonstrate at another appropriate location later, but this is where I most often need a mobile wireless audio system, especially in situations where I am mobile and a fixed mic wouldn't work. So here we have the Comica BoomX-D PRO D2 wireless audio system for use with your camera, computer, or even your smartphone. Hi, Ray here. Full disclosure, Comica sent me this product to test. Otherwise, this isn't a sponsored video, despite YouTube's sponsored content alert at the beginning. That'll be there. It's just that I'm honest when I interpret the question during the upload process as to whether I've received anything of value for making the video. And the answer is yes. The retail price for this system is $219 US. As always, my opinions are entirely my own. So now that's out of the way. This kind of wireless system, I think it's fair to say, Røde popularized with the affordable first generation Wireless Go back in 2019, as I recall. And I bought into that system not long after it came out. Didn't everybody? Once again, to my knowledge, Røde were also first out of the gate with a 2-mic transmitter package, the Wireless Go II. DJI put out a good challenge with its kit, which seems very competitive. A system that includes a charging case and doesn't require the use of an app to take advantage of some of its functions, like the Røde does. There are a whole bunch of competitors in this space now. I think you could almost say it's cluttered. There's Hollyland, DJI, GVM, Ulanzi, and Comica, just to name 5. I'm not going to compare every feature from every brand in this review. In terms of pricing, at this point, Røde Wireless 2 is $300 USD, DJI $329, Comica, as I said, $219 US. And I'll put affiliate purchase link in the description for the BoomX-D Pro. I will briefly compare the Comica versus Røde Wireless 2. Comica comes with a case and reasonably good lavalier mics. The separate Røde Go lav mic is $80 US, that's each, $110 Canadian. Comica, all devices have displays. Røde, only the receiver has a display. Comica, all settings are accessible directly at the transmitter receiver. With Røde, you need to connect the receiver to a computer and use the separate app to access a lot of settings. Comica has separate gain controls for each track, plus minus 12 decibels. Røde doesn't. When it comes to transferring internally recorded tracks, with the Comica, you can easily transfer to a computer with a supplied cable. With Røde, you have to use the export function of the app. The Comica file format of internal recordings is WAV. Røde, from what I gather, has some non-standard file format you have to convert. I don't own the Røde Wireless 2. I didn't buy it, primarily due to the app thing. So I take these opinions from research and talking to friends who do. Comica has 8 gigabytes internal memory, about 24 hours recording, and the Røde 2 specs say 40 hours of internal recording, and I've seen some reviews peg it at 10 gigabytes, but don't quote me on that. The Røde has better range, 200 meters, 656 feet, compared to the Comica's 100 meter, 328 feet. And battery life is a bit better. So Røde 7 hours for both transmitter and receiver, while the Comica has 4.5 hours for transmitter and 6 hours for receiver, according to their specs. And here's where the Røde 2 system pulls way ahead, with its latency specs. That's the amount of delay in the signal, which says 3.5 to 4 milliseconds, next to none. The Comica is a maximum 20 milliseconds, that's 0.2 seconds, which sounds like a lot compared to Røde. But unless you're recording exceptionally long clips, it shouldn't pose a problem. I should mention, Røde just released the Wireless Pro version of its wireless system, joining the trend towards 32-bit float recording that claims to all but eliminate the need for a safety track. But the new Røde Pro will come in at $399 US, $549 here in Canada. Now some people claim the Røde Wireless 2 has the edge in sound quality, and I might point out here that the Røde has 24-bit resolution compared to 16-bit for the BoomX-D Pro. Not that the difference is likely to be detected by the ordinary human ear. In my tests, between the original Wireless Go and the Comica, I don't think really that there's anything in it. But, and if anyone knows the answer to this question, please add it to the comments below. I haven't been able to confirm if the Wireless Go 1 is 16 or 24-bit. They didn't say in the original specs, and I haven't found any other sources for that information. But here's my comparison tests, and I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Starting out these audio comparison tests with the original version of the Røde Wireless Go system, which I think I bought in 2019, and we're just using the internal inbuilt mic. Once again, Røde Wireless Go, except this time we've added the Røde Go lavalier mic, which you have to buy separately, so we'll see if there's any difference there. The Comica system, out of the box, this is the improved Pro version of the original BoomX-D. The external distinction besides the Pro text is the orange record button. The kit ships with 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, 2 lav mics, wind muffs, which double as muffs for the lav mics as well. And I have to wonder if over time the foam pop filter mic covers might suffer from pushing these onto the lavaliers. I wish they had dedicated muffs made to fit over the bare capsule. But the mic inputs have little clips to make sure the plug stays plugged. You get a 3-way charging cable that doubles as a download cable, 3.5mm TRS to TRS cable for camera recorder, and 3.5mm TRS to TRRS audio cable for use with the phone. There's a headphone monitor port. The power switch doubles as a mute button, and you just hold that in for a second to power up, either transmitter or receiver, of course. There's a pair button in the event the units lose connection. Hasn't happened to me yet. The mode button controls how audio is transferred to camera or recorder and how the mics are mixed. There are 3 modes switched on the side of the receiver. Mono, both mics are mixed into 1 channel. Stereo mode, mic A equals the left channel and mic B equals the right channel. And this is where independent gain control comes into its own. We can set the channels at different volumes, so if one person speaks louder than another, we can adjust the gain accordingly. Hey Amanda, this is great. Now we've got this dual mic system.
Yes, yeah.
And
wonderful.
stereo to boot.
Yep.
So like this is going to be great for when we're on location, and now people don't have to just listen to me.
Yes, right.
You know, it's going to be great to have you in on the conversation.
Yes, yeah.
So I want to go down to the river because I think the salmon are going to be running soon.
Yeah, no, I would think so. Very soon anyway.
Yep, so should be able to get some good bear shots, hopefully.
Yeah, and otters and seals and
Eagles.
everything else.
Yep, everything follows the salmon.
Yes, right.
Then there's safety mode, which records a backup at a lower level, so that if your main track clips due to your, I don't know, talent succumbing to a sudden fit of hysterical laughter, not usually at my jokes, mind you, but whatever the unexpected noise, the right B channel records at 6 decibels lower. So you have that backup to save the day if your main audio clips. Then, and this is awesome, you can record that independent internal backup. So if the signal drops out, you're covered. In fact, you can use this record function to just use the mic transmitters without the receiver as standalone recorders. Pretty cool, huh? As for that internal storage, your computer sees the BoomX-D as a drive, which incidentally gets automatically written over when full. And a reminder, that's a WAV file that's easily transferred to your computer via USB-C. No app needed. Now I'm sure you don't want to listen to me rattle off all the specs, so I'll drop them here or here for those who want a more complete list. I used the BoomX-D Pro for a recent video in another situation where a lav mic is preferable over, say, a stationary shotgun mic. The problem with that location is very high ceilings that turn the room into an echo chamber. The reverb is terrible. So I always turn to a lav mic to isolate the voice a bit more. Now, it'll be interesting to see how much isolation we're getting, because the birds are very happy that it's raining for the first time in months. I asked viewers, listeners, what they thought of that. There's the jays. The answer I got from a couple of respondents was positive. I did very minor post-processing, and I should add that audio was recorded not straight into the Nikon Z8 camera, as it is here, but to the Tascam DR60D Mark II. For the rest of this video, I'll give you raw audio with no post-processing at all, other than normalization for comparison. So, all in all, I hope that gives you a sense of what you can expect with this system. Finally, I'll do a short range test, or rather long range test, of this 2.4 gigahertz frequency system. So now here we are actually at the river to do a range test on the Comica BoomX-D Pro. And I would like to have used the river bank to do this test, walk along the gravel bar, but this is a tidal part of the river. It's high tide, so no gravel bar. So we'll make use of this trail here. I've got it mapped out to 100 meters, which is the range, so about 324 feet. And that's line of sight, so I'll walk backwards. I will turn my back occasionally, and we'll see how this works. So let's go. Yes, we talked about bears. Well, there's certainly plenty of evidence of bears around. There's bear scat everywhere. They've been feasting on the abundant blackberries, so it's mostly made up of blackberries. And there's also plenty of signs around warning of bears in the area. So I'm now at about, let me see, I've got this marked out, so I've got another mark here somewhere. And it's funny actually. It worked out to be the marks right by every pile of bear poop. So I think now we're at about maybe 150 feet. And I'll continue on here onto our next marker. And yes, there's a bear warning sign right there. And I'll walk backwards for a bit here, but I don't want to walk backwards for too long because I also don't want to step in any bear poop. So we're now and are we getting any dropouts? At about just over the halfway mark here. So we'll keep heading up this direction. Pretty soon, I'm actually going to check out right now to see if there's any salmon coming up the river. But as I said, what we're seeing mostly is they've been feasting on the berries. I won't make you sit through all of this. Perhaps I'll just continue. Actually, I might as well now, because we're almost there. And 100 meters. There's another pile. 100 meters now. I'll just continue on a little bit beyond. We've got a gravel bar right here. So, are we getting dropout yet? I have to say, and I'll save this until I get back in range, I have to say that I really can't ever see me needing this much range. I suppose it's conceivable, but highly unlikely. I'll be very happy if I get half this range out of it. I don't think I've really ever used any of these wireless systems beyond about, I would say, 50 meters. And that's even rare. So I'll be happy if this gets a reasonable amount of range. We'll see soon enough. So I'll jump now to my outro for this portion of the video. So that concludes the range test for this system, and we'll see how it worked out. We're probably going to hear some rain because the rain it's actually dropped off a little bit now. But I hope you enjoyed this section of the video. I think at the price, the Comica BoomX-D Pro is excellent value for the money. In conclusion, there really aren't any big cons when it comes to the audio performance. I think it has a lot going for it compared to the competition. But I will mention one thing that disappointed me. The spring clip, it works fine to, say, clip on clothes. It's working pretty good here, and not bad on the camera's hot shoe, but not so good on the cold shoes of my camera cage when compared to the Rode unit. I'm not sure what the difference is. The width of the clip measures out the same. One thing I did notice is the spiky things, I think that's the technical term, on the back of the clip, meant to hold onto material. They're longer on the Comicas. But the main difference, I'd say, is the strength of the spring itself. It's much stronger on the Rode. I haven't really come up with a workaround yet, other than maybe stick with the Rode system when I need to use the cold shoes on my video rig. I just couldn't trust the Comicas to stay put on the cage. So, now you might say that the problem lies with small rigs' cold shoe design, but I'd still feel better even if the clip was tighter on the camera hot shoe as well. So, feedback to Comica, can we get a springier spring for that spring clip? Other improvements? As I say, a charging case would be awesome. I'd pay extra for that. Separate wind muffs for the lav mics. And buttons. The mute button, in particular, it would be great to see that lockable. I haven't personally had any issue, but better safe than sorry. 32-bit float in the next iteration? Otherwise, full marks for a very competitively priced and technically complete system. I think it proved itself pretty well, don't you? The birds liked it. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you found this video useful, please do give it the old thumbs up. And if this is your first visit to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. In the meantime, take care. Cheers. We'll see you later. And the birds say goodbye too.